I want to thank you for joining me on today's episode of the Disruptive Voices of the Pacific, where this platform continues to be a place where men and women across the Pacific can share their stories. And I love that because it's time that we get our stories out there. Sharing our stories actually helps us heal. It gives other people courage. It exposes the darkness. And so today with me, I have a very special young woman. Her name is Keri. Welcome, Keri.
Hi, Paula.
Good
Mm,
to have you with us. You're Fijian, but you're living in New Zealand at the moment.
mm,
So that's why she has a bit of an accent. But that's what happens when you live in another
mm,
nation.
mm,
But Keri, again, you have contacted me in the last couple of weeks. We've made contact. You've started sharing your story, and you just felt like it was time to begin to speak up and just share what's happened to you. But
mm,
maybe just give us a bit of a context about who you are and
mm.
what you do, maybe where you grew up.
Yeah. Full of Anaka Letitia and hello to all the listeners. My name is Keri. I hail from the province of Tailevu, also shared Matillan links to the province of Tailevu. I was born and raised in my maternal side of the family, no sorry village. Um, and yeah, I grew up and moved here in New Zealand in 2016. So I have been here since then. Uh, yes.
Yeah, that's
Mm,
great.
mm,
And you're a mother and you're running an online business and doing
mm,
whatever it takes to get through these years, hey, which is
mm-hmm.
fantastic.
Yes.
How old is your son?
He is 3, turning 4 in December.
Okay.
So yeah.
Keeps your hands full, hey?
Uh-huh. Keeps me on my toes.
Okay.
Yes.
And can you describe to us a bit of what life was like for you growing up
Mm.
in Fiji as a young girl before you moved to New Zealand?
Yes. I really loved growing up, thinking about it. There's no, my childhood, throughout my childhood, I loved everything. Like, I was raised in an extended family, lived uh, have always lived with family. So that's, yeah, we're being surrounded by a lot of people. So, yeah, that's what I can remember about growing up. I really loved it. It's always have always been fun for me thinking about it. Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like a typical Fijian
Mm.
upbringing around lots of people,
Mm.
a lot of fun, a lot of laughter, probably playing games, running around.
Yes.
You see young
Mm.
children, which is fantastic. But again, like so many, you also are a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. And
Mm.
this is just all too common. Um, in fact, I very rarely come across somebody who hasn't experienced this, but and it has, yeah, it has long-lasting impact upon our life. So maybe can you tell us when and where that occurred? What age were you?
Uh, I cannot remember exactly the age,
Mm.
but it wasn't an on occasional thing. So he did not live with us. He always he like lived very far away from us. So occasional, I mean, like when there's Christmas or everyone's getting together, this is when it would happen. So yeah, uh, the age wise, I all I can remember is that I do not know how far back it would happened, but what I can remember from it, like I was so young, but when I knew that what he was doing was wrong, that's when I started to just avoid him.
Yeah.
So, but I maybe like class a year 5 or 4.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do not really remember the age, but yeah, was young
It
enough
was young.
like to not know what's happening, but also at the time, because it wasn't an occasional thing, by the time I knew what he was doing was like wrong, like because I was scared from it, I have just distanced myself away from him. So yeah, age wise, like really young in primary school. Yeah.
Okay. How many years do you think it went on for?
um I don't know, like because he's always been a visitor, like, coming and going. I think it's been going on for like a wee while, like maybe 3 years max. But till that age that I know that he was doing something like, that scared me, that was wrong, I have just like, tried to avoid him in every, like, whenever we have a family occasion when he's around. Yeah.
Was he a family member?
Yes, he was.
Okay,
Mm,
so visiting for family occasions.
mm,
And can you describe, and I guess, as much as you feel comfortable, but it's always helpful for parents to see the signs.
mm.
Did he try and get you away into a room by yourself?
Yeah, so the pictures are like coming and going, but from what I can remember is like this one time, you know how Fijian homes, like the doors are always open, whether it's the front or the back. So we have this room, our family room, that might be like a typical Sunday where everyone's finished lunch and everyone takes a nap. So this is what I can remember from this spot, but. Like I was taking a nap after Sunday lunch. Everyone gets told all the children needs to take a nap after lunch. So yeah, I can remember I was taking a nap in our room by myself, and I could just feel someone like at the back of me just trying to rub himself. That like, but the memory keeps like it's bit by bit, but it was not just that. Like some other parts are like he would tell me to come around at the back, or he'll catch me off guard when I go to the toilet. He'll be around the corner, just like, come here, like I want to show you something, um, kind of thing. So, but oh, yeah, so those are like the things I can remember from it. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, okay. So he obviously was aware where you were, what you were
Mm,
doing.
yeah.
Did you see him approaching any of the other young girls?
Uh, yeah, that's the part where I don't really, yeah, remember, but
Okay.
yeah.
So you said, when you became aware that what he was doing was wrong, so you began
Mm,
to distance yourself. How
mm.
how did you get that awareness that what he was doing
Um,
was right?
because he was starting to tell me like if you tell someone, like don't tell anyone like this, yeah, and that like all I can remember from it's like I was so scared and I just started to avoid him in every like situation where I would see him, or he'll be like at the front. I'll be like, just go away from like, yeah.
Had you ever had your parents or anybody in your family ever warned you that, people might try and touch you or say this to you? Had there been any education? Um,
Maybe later on,
Okay.
but not from
Okay.
like, yeah, that young.
Yeah.
Mm,
And so
mm,
this is why it's so important that we are telling our children, hey, that
mm,
what is good touch, what is bad touch,
yeah.
that if they ever say don't tell anyone,
Mm,
that's a big red flag. So it was good that that kind of triggered something in you to go, this is
mm,
not quite right.
yeah.
Did you ever tell anyone?
No, not until recently. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
What kept you from saying anything?
Oh, I just thought like, because I have like learned from that age quite well that I could just shove it away. Like, it wasn't a big deal. Maybe like for me, I don't know why I kept it away. Maybe because I was like, didn't feel safe enough to tell anyone or to reach out to anyone. I was so scared, but
Mm.
yeah.
Yeah, look, when you're a little child, it is
Mm,
very scary to speak up
mm,
against these older men. So, from a young age, as a young girl, to be violated in this way, it does affect our life, doesn't it? How do you think
Y-
then, from then into your teenage years, did that impact your life?
Yes, so much in so many ways. Like, I feel like just from what I've learned from it is that I was really good at hiding things, uh, personal or like big things that happens to me. I was just really good at hiding it away. And people that always tell me like I have such a beautiful smile, like, those kind of things. Like I really knew how to put a good face on when like, really deep inside there was so much happening. Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
what were you hiding? What was happening inside of you?
Like this trauma, like this, yeah, this thing that I was exposed to from that young age, like in other areas of my life when I later on go into relationship, which we'll go into, but like mentally, like I needed help. I needed someone to talk to, but I just knew like, maybe I'll just forget about it. And it will just go away, but obviously it won't go away. It'll
No.
come up in other ways and forms. Mm,
Hmm.
mm,
And so at what age did it begin to kind of come up? Do you feel like, yeah, you couldn't keep things down any longer?
mm. Maybe when I had my son, that was really a turning point for me because yeah, I just saw how everything was, not that it was bad, but not blaming the people that raised me up or anything, but they did what they had to do to survive or to keep like me, my like the generation, like children safe.
Mm.
But for me now, I know like I have this opportunity to speak up. I do not want to pass this uh, burden or this thing to my son. Like, I put myself in that position. Like, if he's going to ever go through anything, like, he needs to see me do it first, like, speak up or reach out. So he needs to feel more safe. Um, yeah, just want to create that safe space first for myself before I pour it, like, to my son. And I want to have more children. So, I have nieces and nephews. So, yeah,
Mm.
that's really just, yeah, the turning point for me. I do not want to pass this on to anyone else. mm,
So you were in a relationship a couple of years ago with the
mm,
father
mm,
of your son.
mm,
What tell us about that relationship?
yeah, that
Much as you can.
relationship, yeah, I'll say it was toxic in its own way. But yeah, it was toxic. There was definitely a lot of red flags, but I chose to ignore it, to hide it away, thinking that it would just magically solve itself, or like But yeah, it obviously didn't. It did not end well. I ended up being a single mom for maybe 2 years before I met my partner now. So yeah.
So what were some of the red flags you could see?
Mm, like his close friends telling me that he was not good for me to
Right.
leave him, but I thought I'd change him, young dumb me. But yeah, some of my closest friends, like, because they could see what he was doing, but because I was in the relationship, I was, I'd say, blinded, like, by love. Uh, I could not see it properly, I'd say. So yeah.
Yeah, that's a really important one, isn't it?
Yeah.
What our friends around us say, because yeah,
Mm,
love is blind.
mm,
If they see issues, I've got to listen to them sometimes.
yeah.
Can be really destructive, can't it?
Mm,
Um, so you became pregnant at the age of 20, and
mm,
that was obviously a shock to you. It wasn't something you were planning.
yes.
But I hate to say it, if we're going to have sex, we've got to
Mm,
be prepared to get pregnant young
mm,
people.
mm,
But But yes, it wasn't um, in your plan. But how did you feel at the time when you found out that you were pregnant?
Oh, there was a lot of things like going on in my head at the time because uh, I was studying through the company that I worked with to become a company med inspector. So I found out when I was pregnant, and this whole pressure of like, I haven't even turned 21. Like, I was going to turn 21 like a few months like when I found out I was pregnant, I was just gonna about to turn 21. So like, 21 and like, you get your key and that's when you so yeah, so this whole pressure like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? I'm still like, uh I was still studying, the whole pressure of how am I gonna do this? Um like what I was even so scared to tell my mom and everyone around me, the judgments, just like I feel, or from the community or the church. So yeah, there was a lot going on there. I do not know, like how did I went through it, like but yeah, there
Did
was a
you ever
lot.
consider abortion?
I did. Um, it was an option, but it was something that was just way out of me. I just knew I couldn't bring myself to it. But I had such a really good friends around me that really, because they knew what was happening to me, because I'd talk about like, the pressure, like studying, and because my friends knew like the father of my child, like what he was doing too, because he had cheated on me like before I even got pregnant. So they really, they just like gave me the options that is available for me. But I knew it was something that I just couldn't do, but it was there, like, during that time. But yeah, it was just an option, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well done for choosing life because
Mm,
after that initial shock, I think we can,
mm,
with the help and support. I just want to come back to something you said. You said your partner was cheating on you before you even got pregnant. Was
yeah.
that not a big red flag to you?
Yeah, it was a big red flag, but I don't know. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know how to put it into words. Like, he was just so good and manipulative. Like, he just said it wasn't gonna happen again. Yeah.
Mm.
So yeah.
We believe them, don't we?
Yeah.
How did that make you feel when you found out that he was cheating on you?
Uh, so I found out like after I gave birth because I had to see it for myself because the girl that he was cheating on me with like actually moved to the same town we both lived in and worked, came and worked in the same place we both worked in. So,
Oh,
but yeah, that's another story for another time. So yeah, I had to really see it for myself, and I actually like, this is way gone. Yeah.
yeah.
Mm.
So you're not with him anymore. So how did you eventually break out of that relationship?
Uh, for like just what helped me to just really break out from it is just controlling the things I can control. Uh, really like just focusing on what I had in front of me. That was my son. And I'm really glad that I have like such a good friendship group, like circle, that really just like, reminded me it's all gonna be okay. That's like what I felt like I needed at the time, just for them to just tell me like it's gonna be okay, just to keep going, and having my dad and my mom to like, they just supported me in the ways they can. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great when you've got that around you.
Mm.
If you could go back and change one thing from your past, what would it be?
I'd say nothing because, everything happens for a reason. It was meant, not that, like, bad things happen, like, but for for me, I think, I they were it was meant, it was like, I'd say nothing because it has brought me to where I am now. Yeah. Mm,
Yeah,
mm.
okay. If you hadn't have been abused, how do you think how might your life have been different if you didn't experience that trauma from an early age and stuffing it down and
Hmm. Uh, maybe. Maybe, I don't know, speaking out when things are wrong or like clearly seeing uh the the wrong in every aspect, like relationship, if I because I wasn't bold enough or supported enough, I'll say in that way to really believe that when someone's like, telling me something's wrong, I could, like, maybe opt out of it earlier, but hiding things away, not talking about it. Maybe if I could reach out to the right people when I was going through all these things, maybe I could have opted out of the uh, mental, like all those things
Mm,
earlier. But
yeah.
yeah.
Now that you're a parent, what can we do? I mean, knowing just how prevalent still to this day that
Mm,
childhood sexual abuse is, what can we do to create an environment and atmosphere where our children
mm,
can come and tell us what Uncle Johnny is doing
mm,
or whoever?
yeah.
How can we give our children a voice from a young age?
Maybe like really listening to them. Now, still a young parent, I believe something really important is they have to see that we're doing it first because, you know, uh, there's a lot of people, even I don't want to put a bad thing about it, but I'll use this just for an example. Like churches, pastors are preaching, they're not even, but we don't not even see them doing the same thing outside of church. So for me as a parent, really saying me like I have to do it first. So because my son's growing up now and I have more children or nieces and nephew that I want to help, they have to see me do it first. So in order for them to follow the footsteps or yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
yeah,
Mm,
that's wonderful. So just
mm.
as we end, what do you hope you can achieve by sharing your story today? What's your hope for all the
Yeah,
Pacific people who are watching this?
mm. Yeah, I just hope that there's all needs to start from our home, parents, or if you have younger siblings, uh, adults, like making it a safe place first, like so they know it is safe to like there's topics of that are taboo, like sex, relationships, like the red flags and all those stuff, the touches, what are safe touches and what are not. To they like first adults, like mothers or parents, everyone
Mm.
needs to educate themselves more around this topic because with the amount of things that are happening even back home in Fiji right now when we see it, it's still so like thing so I don't know what's the word there, but like, these things are happening over and over again, but I do not know why it is still not a normal thing to talk about. But yeah, it needs to start from home. If you have little children, little siblings, like, asking the right questions, or if they're in a relationship, like, talking about safety around that, like,
Mm.
not in a way to tell them off or scare them, but to know, like, to tell them that they are supported in whatever way. Also, not like, promoting teenage pregnancies for younger kids that are in a relationship, but to tell them, like, this is what is gonna happen, like, so they know. So, and the
Mm.
consequences out of all of the actions. Yeah. Mm,
No, that's powerful. Well, thank
mm,
you, Keri. And it's I think there's a lot of young women like yourself,
mm,
a lot of young mothers who give me
mm,
a lot of hope for the future,
mm,
who have been on this platform, who are sharing their own stories, but now bringing up their own children, and they're going to do things differently, and they're going to speak up, and we're not going
mm,
to cover up things, and we're not going to
mm,
protect the perpetrators, even no matter how important they are,
mm, mm,
because we want to see an end to abuse across the Pacific, New Zealand,
mm,
Australia, everywhere. We're working very hard on this. So thank you for, again, just being another voice that is
mm,
speaking up. We're not being silent, and just sharing your story so honestly
mm.
today. So God bless you.
Thank you very much.